all the students. I am Dr. Hima Bindu from the Department of Mechanical Engineering, and I will be dealing the subject robotics from the Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, and my today's topic is human robot interaction. In the previous sessions, we have seen about the mobile wheel robotics, and we have seen about the ethical issues of the robotics. Right. In today's topic, we will be seeing what is the use of a human and robot interaction, what are its applications, what are the benefits, right? So, going on to the topic, what do we mean by the word human robot interactions? What does it exactly mean? It is a multidisciplinary field, right? Human robot interaction is a multidisciplinary field which focus on the interaction between a robot as well as a human, right? It is an interaction which will be taking place between a human and a robot. Here, this particular principle integrated from the robots, artificial intelligence, cognitive science, design, human computer interaction, right? Now, based upon all these applications only, we can create a robot that can communicate with the human very effectively, right? When a robot is being manufactured with the help of the artificial intelligence or with the help of the psychological programming being inserted into the robot, or with the help of the design, or with the help of the cognitive science being imparted in the robot, then only that particular robot can interact with the humans very effectively, or it can communicate with the humans very effectively, right? So here the human robot interaction is a field which is involving the potential to interact with machines, making them more supportive and integrated in our daily lives, right? Here, this particular human robot interactions are very important field which have a potential to integrate, or which have a potential to interact with the machines as well as the people, or daily lives integrated, right? So here it has a challenge which that is to leverage the advancements in the technology. The main challenge for the human robot interaction is to have an advancement technology which can leverage all the challenges with respect to the research or with respect to the engineering constraint, where it enhances the capabilities of the human and the quality of the life in order to improve the quality of the life. When we are not having all these sort of technologies imparted in the humanoid robot, what happens? The robot cannot effectively communicate, right? It doesn't understand what the other person is trying to do or what the other person is dealing with. So when we are imparting all these constraints in a robot, then only it can effectively interact with the human, right? Now, the key areas which we need to represent with respect to the human robot interaction is the natural language processing, right? And it also requires gesture and motion recognition. It also requires a multimodal interface. That is, what exactly is this key area of interference, right? Now, when we impart natural language processing within the robot, then only that particular robot can enable or understand and respond to the human speech, right? When a NLP is being integrated in the robot, that particular robot can respond to the human speech, right? When this particular programming is not inserted within the robot, it cannot recognize what the human is telling, right? When that is, it involves the recognition of the speech or the language to be understood, and the sort of generation, whether it's the first generation, second generation, or the third generation, right? When we are inserting the natural language processing within the robot, then only it can recognize the speech of the human and it can act accordingly. Right? Next, coming to the gesture. We all know gesture. What do we mean by gesture? It includes how the position, in which position the particular human is, how he can interact with, how robot can interact with, depending upon the gesture of the human. That is, with the help of the sensors or with the help of the cameras and with the help of the motion detectors, this particular robot can interact with the human body. That is, with the help of the human body language, the robot can interact with the human. Like that can be done with the help of the sensors, with the help of the cameras, and with the help of the motion detector. Right? With the help of these particular three scenarios, the robot can identify the gesture and easily communicate with the human. Next, multimodal interference. What do we mean by multimodal interference? Where it includes speech as well as gesture as well as touch. Right? When all these, that is, all these particular two also are included in this multimodal interference. Right? That is, when any particular robot can recognize the speech or the gesture or the touch, it can easily communicate with the human. That is the multimodal interface. Right? Next, coming to the emotional and social intelligence. What happens when we come across emotional and social interference? Right? We need to recognize the emotions of the human. The robot has to recognize the emotions of the human and act accordingly. That is, whether it is with respect to the voice, that is, when any human is sad, or if any human is happy, or if any human is crying, there will be a voice modulation. Right? So, based upon their particular voice modulation, the robot will recognize, that is emotional recognition, or with the help of the body language, or with the help of the expression, the robot can communicate with the human. That is, as I've told you, with the help of the voice modulation, or with the help of the body language, or with the help of the expression of the human, the robot will be interacting. Now, next, coming to the social cues and context awareness. Now, in our environment, we have a number of social dynamic contents, or it may be a kinetic contents being taking place. So, depending upon the behavior, appropriate behavior in various situations, in each and every situation, there is some certain understanding, social understanding to be taking place. So, depending upon the type of the situation, different situation patterns, the robot will utilize this particular social cues and context awareness. Right? Next, moving on to the teamwork. When we have a group of people in any particular, for example, if we take a software company, there on one particular project there will be a group of people working out. That is, it is a teamwork being generated. Now, in that particular teamwork, instead of using instead of using some around 30 team members, by placing around 10 team members with respect to one robot, how will that particular robot collaborate? How will that particular robot uh, accept that particular teamwork and start working? That is, it is with the help of autonomy, or task allocation being given to that robot. That is, any robot which is given a task has to understand the balance between the human operation and autonomous system. There should be a balance between the human operators and the autonomous system. That is, the robot has to be designed in such a way that it can intervene. The human can intervene when necessary. This design is designing this particular system is based on humans can intervene when there is any particular requirement. Whenever there is a necessity, the human can interfere. And coming across the task allocation, this has been divided between human and the robot in order to increase the effectiveness as well as in order to increase the efficiency. The task allocation is being given between the collaboration and the teamwork to be done in any particular organization or any particular industry or any particular educational institute or healthcare sectors, etc. Wherever we go, we need to allocate some tasks with respect, which there where there will be it will be divided between human and the robot in order to increase the efficiency and effectiveness. Right. Next, coming to the safety. Safety and trust. Now, when we are manufacturing any robot, first we need to consider the main important point, which is safety and trust. This is very important, right? Safety and the trust to be built within the robot is one of the very important constraint to be taken care of. That is, the physical safety is very important. When we are manufacturing any robot, we should keep in mind the collision avoidance system, whether that particular robot can harm the human who is working around, or is it involved in designing fails or any particular safety or compliance mechanism. Keeping all these constraints, we need to manufacture the robot. That is, physical safety is very important. Next, trust. The robot, whatever we are manufacturing, should be very transparent, right? The behavior of the robot should be very transparent and it should build the trust which can be utilized by the organization. The robot, whatever we are designing, should understand its limitation, right? Then only we can use a particular robot in our organization. When it is not having any sort of limitation or when it is not having any sort of proper understanding to what to be done, it becomes very problematic for us to use this sort of robots in our organization. So trust and reliability is very important again when it comes to safety and trust, right? Next, moving on to the user experience and acceptance. Who will accept this particular type of the robots and what is the user experience, right? That is usability testing. We need to test. There should be a usability testing when we come across the acceptance, right? The culture and ethical considerations are also very important. That is, the behavior of the robot with respect to the ethical standards is also very important, which is again an important task, right? Now, where are we using this human robot interactions? What are the various applications which come across? Generally, we can use it in healthcare, as I've just told you, or in any particular educational institutes. When we are using in the healthcare, where all can be used? It can be used for assistance, it can be used as a surgical robot, or it can also be used as a therapeutic robot. That is, when we are installing the required programming into the robot, then that particular robot we can act in the required task in the daily. That is, when we are taking the robot as an assistive robot, how can it support? It can support the elderly or the disabled in the daily task, right? Or when we are using it in the surgical, it can minimize the procedures, right? Assisting the surgeons to minimize the procedures or engaging the patients in the rehabilitation exercises, etc., in the therapeutical aspects, right? We can use the healthcare sector, we can use the robot in the healthcare. When coming to the education, we need to give a programming to the robot in such a way that it can assist a teacher. That is, it can explain the required problems being delivered to already been inserted within the robot to the particular student. That is, it can act as a teacher which can assist as a teacher or providing personalized learning experience, right? STEM education means robot used to teach programming or the engineering and technological or science concept in any interactive way. It can also be used in the educational sector, and it can also be used in service and hospitality. That is, we have seen in few of the hotels nowadays, instead of waiters, they are using a humanoid robot. How are we using a humanoid robot? Because already a programming is being given in such a way that the robot can identify what are the collisions coming across, in which direction it have to go, in which direction it have to move, where to deliver the food and all. So we can use the robots in hospitality and services, or in hotels also, and in industries and manufacturers, where it acts as a cobots, right? That is, it can assist in hotels, it can assist in restaurants, in the services tasks, in the routine maintenance. Even in the maintenance system also we can use the this particular type of the robo, where in order to reduce the workers, we will be using the robo for cleaning purpose, or for the daily maintenance purpose, daily cleaning purpose, in serving in the hotel or in the restaurants, or it can be used even in the hotel services for changing the bed sheets day to day, depending upon the time programming given in with respect to time and with respect to date. It will be acting accordingly by changing the bed sheets or cleaning the vessels, etc. Right? When we come across industry and manufacturing, it is used for quality checking, it is used for assembly, disassembly, it is used in for different sort of logistics, right? Or for any automation system, when we come across, it is used for safety in production line, right? So in all these sectors we can use the human robo interactive robo system, right? And next is the what are the technical challenges which we can come across, right? That is perspective and sensing. That is, the robo whatever we are developing should have a sensor as well as an accurate algorithm, right? In order to sense the environment and the human perspective, right? That is, when the robo is not sensing the accurate environment on the human perspective, it cannot meet the exact challenge. It will be failed. So the algorithm has to be given to the robo in such a way that the robo can sense the environment and the perspective of the human, and the real time process. When we come across the real time process, what is happening in real time process, we need to ensure that the robo can process and respond to the human inputs in the real time, right? When it is not doing that, it cannot meet that particular challenge. Is coming to the mobility and mobility. What happens in the mobility? It should have a capability of navigating the complex environments and performing that particular integrate task. When it is not having that access, mobility access, when it is not having that ease to move in that particular complex environment, it cannot meet this particular challenge. So there are certain technical challenges which the robo has to go through with the help of the programming, which will be given by the programmers, right? Next, coming to the social and ethical challenges, as we have just now said, privacy is very important, job displacement is very important, and bias and fairness is also very important, right? And coming to the psychological challenges, there should be user trust and acceptance, and human adaptation. That is, helping human to adapt working with robots and understand their roles in human robot teams, or to overcome the fear on the or reliability, or it should be user friendly design, right? When it comes to psychological challenges, right? When it is job displacement, when we are when we are removing some n number of workers and placing them, we need to justify the role of the robo in that particular organization, right? Next to the future direction. What are the future directions with respect to the human robo interactions? That is, it should be a long term interaction studies. It should be a continuous process in order to get a good human robo interaction programming. That is, it should be a longitudinal study, or we should understand the long term effect of the human robo interaction with respect to trust and social dynamics. Or when it comes to the social interference, that it should have an advanced social skill, or it should be more natural and engaging interactions, right? When it comes to the personalized experience, the robo has to interact to the individual users based on their needs, based on their preferences, or based on their context, right? Or when we come across adaptive learning, it should adapt the individual user preference and behavior over the long period of time. These are some of the future directions which we need to follow when we are manufacturing or when we are designing any particular robot, right? So these are the references which have gone through, right? So in today's class we have seen about what are the various perspectives to be considered when we are designing a robot which need to interact with the human. There should be some distinguishes between the human and the robot, and the work part should be divided equally between a human and a robot to be interacted appropriately, right? In the next class, we will be dealing with two problems based on the link systems from the module 1. Thank you. Signing off for today, Dr. G. Hima Bindu.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.